Hey, what's up everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Listen, in today's video, I want to talk about why wholesalers are getting a bad rep in the real estate industry coming up. All right, everybody. So look, the reason I wanted to put this video together is primarily because wholesalers are getting a bad rep in the real estate industry. And to be honest with you, I recently came across a deal, and as I was talking to the seller, I could see why realtors look at wholesaling as an illegal act. I can see why realtors consider wholesaling as selling a property without a license, which you can't do. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. When wholesaling is practiced properly, which we'll talk about as well, you'll see why it's not illegal. But I can see, looking at things from a realtor's point of view, and I used to be a real estate broker, which I let my license go back in 2006. I can see why realtors look at things that way. So we're going to look at things from both sides of the fence, and we're going to see how we can correct this. And we're going to talk about how we can save the wholesale industry, prevent it from raising more red flags in the real estate industry as a whole. Because in areas like Philadelphia and Oregon and the state of Illinois and other areas as well, wholesaling is banned. It quickly became illegal, or it's limited in those particular areas. So we want to prevent that. And in order to prevent that, we have to do things the right way. The problem is there's too many people doing things the wrong way. And those few bad apples are causing issues for real wholesalers like you and I. So we're going to talk about all of this today. And we're going to talk about remembering the reason why we're in business in the first place. First things first, is wholesaling illegal? The simple answer to that is absolutely not. The reason realtors are looking at wholesaling as an illegal act is because you have brand new real estate investors who want to be wholesalers, getting too much information from people who are probably not even in the business themselves, but they're getting this information and then they're going out and they're literally finding properties and practicing real estate without a license. How do you go out and practice wholesaling the right way? Well, the way wholesaling works is this. You have to go out and find a motivated seller or someone who wants to sell their property. You negotiate a price that's agreeable between you and the seller. Once you negotiate that price, what you have to do in order to get a valid deal is sign an agreement with the seller. Once you sign that agreement with the seller, you have to put down an earnest money deposit in order to validate your agreement. If you do not put down an earnest money deposit, your agreement is null and void. There has to be an exchange of some type of monetary value in order for you to get an agreement solidified on paper. Now, once you have an agreement and you have an earnest money deposit put down on that property, you now have what's called a vested interest in the property, which will basically allow you to go out there and sell your contract or assign your contract to someone else for a profit. Without the contract and without the earnest money deposit, you cannot go out and try to show someone else's house, sell that property, and make a profit unless you're a licensed real estate agent. And that's why realtors are saying that wholesalers are practicing realtors or real estate brokering without a license. In order to prevent that, again, let me recap. This is very important for those of you looking to get into wholesaling to understand. You have to sign an agreement and put down an earnest money deposit. Once you do that, you have the right to assign or sell your rights in your agreement for a profit. And if you do not sign your agreement, if you do not put down an earnest money deposit, but you go out and you show a property and you make a profit on that property, you're practicing brokering without a license. That is illegal. You cannot do that. You have to look at things from both sides of the fence. When you have a few bad apples who are out there creating a bad rep for real investors who are looking to take care of our families, take care of ourselves, take care of our financial situations, doing things the right way, and they're out there not signing agreements and they're out there not putting down these earnest money deposits, validating their deals, then of course we're gonna have a bad rep in the real estate industry, right? So let me give you an example of a deal that I recently did. So a couple of days ago, I went out to see a property, and I was talking to this older woman. She's about 80 years old. She was telling me how she was recently working with another investor and then an investor before that. None of these investors had a solid contract. She never signed an agreement with any of these investors. So that was red flag number one. In addition to that, she told me how these investors wanted to show her property and they were bringing people in, but because they couldn't sell the property to someone else, they told her at the end of the 30 days, she was gonna get her property back. These investors didn't have an agreement on the property with this particular seller. So technically, they shouldn't have been showing the property to other investors. That's why realtors are claiming that wholesalers are operating without a license. In addition to that, she said that they never put down any type of earnest money deposit. Did these investors have a valid deal on this particular property? No, absolutely not. And if they were to make a profit on this particular property, the seller can argue that they didn't have a license, and they can get into some big trouble because of that. So if you're practicing wholesaling and you're actually taking a vested interest in a property and you have some skin in the game through your earnest money deposit, you have nothing to worry about. Remember your reason why. A lot of people forget that, yes, we're in this industry not because we love the business. A lot of us don't love the business. You know, I'll be honest, I'm a real estate investor for 20 years. I don't love real estate investing. It's a tool that allows me to accomplish certain things or experience certain things. That's what money is. Money allows me to experience different things throughout my life, right? So really, real estate investing is a tool. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I love real estate investing. No, you know what I love? I love spending time with my family. I love the things the real estate investing or the money that comes from real estate investing provides, time and freedom, right? But I don't love the art of putting in all the work that goes into getting that time and freedom. That's why I built out systems and teams. I always remember what my reason why is, and sometimes we lose track of what that reason why is. A lot of times people put money before they put people. So they put in money first, right? And that was the case with these two so-called wholesalers who wasn't necessarily looking out for that seller's best interest, right? What they were looking to do was go in and try to make a quick profit. And if they couldn't sell the property, they basically wasted her time. They didn't care about the seller. So a couple principles that I want you to keep in mind is to remember your reason why. And remember, it's always bigger than the money. You might think it's about money when you first start in this business, but you have to remember that this is a people's business. We have to take care of people first. That's why we're problem solvers. I'll give you an example. You know, this particular seller who I signed the agreement with and gave her an earnest money deposit, she needs help. She's 80 years old. She needs help to get the things that's in the property out of the property. So I'm going to provide a service or recommend a service to her that can clean out the property. There's other things that I can do. She needs help with anything else. I'm providing a service. This is a people's business. If you remember that this is a people's business, the money will come. Don't put the money before the people. As a real estate investor, if you put people first, you will make a lot more money in the end. If we start cracking down on wholesalers that are not doing things the right way, and we start putting them on a spot and we start making noise about that, people will start doing things the right way and will save the wholesaling industry, allowing you and I to continue making money as wholesale real estate investors. I hope you guys benefited from this video. I know I was kind of going off on a rant a little bit, but I needed to talk about this because as I talk to these sellers day in and day out, and I get feedback from them, I think it's important for everybody to understand the way these sellers are thinking and why the real estate industry, the wholesaling industry in particular, is going the way it's going, and why people are looking to crack down on this act. It's because people are operating without a license. And if we keep doing that, the real estate industry, the wholesaling industry in particular, will be extinct. Let's start doing things the right way. Let's sign agreements. Let's put down earnest money deposits. Let's make sure we have the seller's best interest at heart. And if we sign on the dotted line, let's make sure we're actually going to close the deal no matter what. Because you're playing with people's lives at this point. You're playing with their livelihood. They're looking to get this money to be able to do other things or move on with their lives. It's our job as wholesalers, as real estate investors, to make that happen no matter what. Okay, so if you sign on that dotted line, make sure you're gonna close that deal. That's how we're gonna save this industry as a whole. So again, I hope you guys benefited from this video. This is something I definitely wanted to talk about. Make sure you share this video with other wholesalers who need to hear this message. You know, stop playing around with people and let's start closing deals in order for all of us to continue making money. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, leave a comment, and let's start a conversation below. How can we make the real estate industry better? How can we prevent wholesaling from becoming extinct throughout the United States? Let's start that conversation in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.